Cast, baby.
Shower thoughts come straight out of the shower when I was washing myself with the old Dr. Squatch. Please sponsor us. Thinking about how Alper dropped some knowledge on my dumb ass that the top 100 reality shows are essentially all sports. And I was like, well, if sports is reality shows, and every time I turn on Real Housewives of you fucking name it, they're just dropping ridiculous things all the time. So we've got the Slime Cast, we've got the Manning Brothers, we've got all these kind of different showings of the game. I think the best showing could be just unfiltered hot mics all the time. Let the guys talk shit, let them yell at each other, listen to it. You're going to hear absurd hot takes, but I think if we're going to be the reality entertainment industry, that's the next big move.
So you're saying put microphones on the players on the field and edit it in real time.
Don't filter it out.
Don't filter it out. Just you want to go from one guy to the next. If you see two guys talking on the defensive side or the offensive side, you want to plug into the quarterback, listen to his cadence, listen to his audibles at the line.
Now you're going to have to toss this on HBO because it's going to be stuff your mom, your sister, and your kids don't want to hear. But I want all of them. I want to sit there and just yell them motherfuck each other for the whole game and be like, those guys have legit beef. That guy's just a trash talker, and they're just jaw to jaw.
That would easily move to number one.
Easily.
Oh, 100%. You go DK Metcalf for the Seahawks. You go Jalen Ramsey for the Rams. I would love to hear what those two are mixing up back and forth. But there's got to be a player on every team that you're like, dude, that's the guy I want mic'd up for the whole game.
Players. How about the coaches?
Well, think about
like
this.
Be jogging by, yeah,
absolutely. What it does is it adds an additional revenue stream because now you have to subscribe to certain teams, certain players. Like if you want to hear what this guy's got to say or this group of folks have to say, it's kind of like an NIL kind of deal. Like you got to subscribe to be able to get that channel. That's where it would go. It would immediately go to how do we make money off of this? And everybody would have their own channel. And then the absurdities would be off the charts because now you've got players not only playing hard on the field, but now they're trying to be as ridiculous as they can with the trash talk. It'll turn into the XFL or the old XFL where they're just absolutely destroying each other and talking shit left and right because that's good for their following. Ooh. Right.
It's genius.
Then you're going to get Nike involved. It's going to be like, oh, just made that sweet move with these awesome new Nike shoes.
You're not going to be able to do that though. You're going to really limit the amount of companies that are going to invest in this because of the explicit nature of the content. Your Disneys are not going to be Nikes, your mainstream companies aren't going to invest in this. Yeah, maybe
their sponsors are going to be like, yeah.
They're not going to want any part of that. They're going to be you're going to have your FX type of advertisements going. That's what they're going to get.
Every player would have to sign up and be okay with that, though. Yeah. Like every player would have to agree because
that's fine. You're like, hey, I want to make an extra revenue. No chance. Nope.
I don't think so. I think in today's day and age,
there'd be a lot of opt-outs.
I'll tell you this goes against like a lot of what I would personally be like. I'm old man syndrome where I'm like, we don't need to always be like going everything. I would sign up for this in the first 5 seconds. If they were like, hey, you got to be in the first 5 seconds, I'd be like, boss, I got to take off today, man. I got to be staring at my computer for the next hour. Cause I really would that would be fascinating, man.
It would be fascinating. Idea. Would there be any issue with, not security, but sort of security, like where you've got a lot of things where now it's everything that Aaron Rodgers is saying at the line. Now, not only do you have film of it, but you've got audio of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're learning play calls. You're learning audible calls. You're learning stuff. You're getting the Houston Astros banging on trash cans type of shit here.
I think, and for you, it's more of like the trash talking. So when you go, it becomes more about that, right? And like the banter and all of those things. And it's fun though, whenever you listen and, when they do the mic'd up or whatever for certain games, it is really fun to just sit there and watch and listen to what they say and how they say it to each other and, all the trash talking.
Dude, the bad lip reading is my favorite shit.
Yeah.
Do you not miss that? I love NFL bad lip reading when
it's the best.
The Adrian Peterson one, when he's talking about orange. That was so funny. We should do that. We should You goofy bastards are clever enough to make that shit funny. We should put something together and see if we can't do that and bring that back. Because I miss that.
Those are great.
Have you, I know you work in the baseball for the Guardians, but have you been able to watch a broadcast of the Major League Baseball All-Star game in the past however many years? You've been able to watch or no?
Yes, it's awesome. And they do it for like the Little League World Series, some special games. They'll pay the player, be like, hey, for $5,000, we want to be you mic'd up during the 5th inning or whatever. And in the content that comes out, they're like talking. Oh, snap, here it goes. He's like, I got it. And they have some jargon.
It's awesome. Incredible. It made the baseball broadcast so much better. And I don't remember who it was, but like starting pitcher for the Yankees was throwing to like his battery mate from back in the day. And it was literally, they were both mic'd up. So he's like, oh, what do you want to throw here? And the guy's like, let's give him the splitter, blah, blah, blah. It was incredible. I was like,
that was at the All-Star game. And that was badass. Yeah. When the pitcher, you could hit, they were talking to Cortez, and he was like, yo, what do you want to do right here? What do you want to do right here? He's like, nah, heat her up, or whatever you're saying. That was the coolest shit in the world, because that's exactly I used to play. I used to wish that so bad that me and Mike I could be in his ear and he could be in mine. We could be like, okay, what do you want to do right here? I wanted to do that so bad. Now in the regular season, obviously they did, outfielders for the most part who've got a little bit of time, which made sense. But I love that as well, because that was an absolute magnet for a piss rocket. If they were on the horn with those guys, they were getting one hit at them. And I'm not talking a lollipop. They were getting a freaking BB. And there was a lot of the, oh shit, you can kind of hear that in their voice. The giddy up.
But it made the 3.5 hour game way more entertaining. And I wish they would do it for more.
I do. I love it.
I'm in, JJ. I'm in.
I love it too. I loved it. If we could mic up more players. And I think that every player might be a pipe dream, but because NFL films mics up players every game. Like that happens on a regular basis. That's where they get all that content. But the reality is that it's still very limited in who's getting mic'd up. And I think they could maybe get some microphones on the sidelines so they could pick up some of those kind of conversations kind of back and forth.
People will blossom.
Yeah, a little bit more back and forth between the guys on the field, as opposed to right now it's more or less just one person's perspective. You're hearing you're hearing JJ Watt talk shit from his side. You're hearing him grunt and run and smack and hit pads, and it'd be a lot more fun if I could hear the other guy's response, to JJ Watt. JJ Watt's like, today's not your day, mother, whatever. And the other guy's like, shut the fuck up, white boy. I'm gonna whip your ass too. Or whatever he says. I don't know. I don't talk shit for a living, so I don't know what he would say. But I imagine it'd be something like that. But they would be cool as shit to be able to hear the other side of it, and hear the back and forth and all that kind of stuff. I don't really care so much about the intricacies of this is the snap count and he called this play. Who gives a shit? I don't care about that. I'd really like post snap, like in between snaps, like back and forth would be gold.
I would be happy if you either put for example, like Justin Jefferson or Dory Jackson this past weekend, like stick it in that's a matchup. And so when that's going on, you'll hear it. Or just as soon as the snap goes, drop the hot mic until they start the cadence the next go. That way you're not getting the play info. I think you're
spot on. I like the matchup marketing, what you just said. A Dory Jackson versus Justin Jefferson, and those two guys are mic'd up, and you can say, hey, I want to listen to these two guys jaw all day. Or if you said, hey, I've got Jeff Simmons on the other side of Quentin Nelson, two guys who go at each other in the same conference and are both notorious shit talkers, I would love to hear those two guys go at it for 3 hours. That would be as good as I really like the Manning cast. I like their context and I like what they bring to the table, but it wouldn't hold a candle to this.
Agreed.
You wouldn't have to even want to like football to watch that.
No,
you don't have. You just have to think of like the reality shows that would spin out for certain players too at some point, who just like make a ridiculously funny new name for themselves as a personality. Because in football, you just don't get to see a lot of personalities.
They got a mask on. They're playing a football game. You're watching the game from 30,000 foot view. Yeah, there's some intricacies. If you're a star player, you get to see them with their helmet off the sidelines, stuff like that. But if you put microphones on these guys And you got to start to see some of the personalities that you've got in these other positions. These linemen are so funny.
Micah,
Some of these
Micah
stuff.
Parsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to
You
hear
start
that
to
guy.
see, you want to hear some of these guys, you think, man, that guy's a freaking really nice dude. He seems like an absolute maniac, but he's really nice. Or you're like, man, that guy looks smart, but he sounds like my cousin Ricky. You know, like
Nickelodeon just like gets Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins.
yeah.
That's like the only guys they have like their
Dude.
PG version players.
Oh, frick. Darn it.
Larry
Shoot.
Fitzgerald.
Doggone
Yep,
it, Kirk.
The all
Another
Nickelodeon team.
interception for me.
Well, you see them jaw jacking at each other all the time, like throughout the game. You do kind of wonder, like, what they say to each other. You could see it, like
Yeah.
they're going at it.
Nice one, Jay.
You know, whether it's offense, defense, whatever, and it's fun to see it. You just you wonder what they're saying. So this would allow you to do that.
So cool. So cool.
The first
I mean,
live
100%.
the first live mic huge hit that sounds like a car crash, I'm gonna stand up from the couch and just go sprinting around screaming because it's gonna be so awesome to just watch it live and just hear that car crash. Oh, let's go. And then get up and hear what the guy says. It's like you just gotta lay the fuck out and just walking off, stepping over, etc.
That's what you call a sack lunch. Nom, 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 nom.
Good joke, Joe.
That's a Powerball. Captain Insano. I just opened up a can of whoop ad.
That's
Let's
such
go.
a great impression.
That's a good one. Good
Yeah.
shower thought, JJ.
Yep.
That would be
Great.
cool. I would be thinking about stuff like that. Ever since we started doing this segment, I find myself thinking about stuff that I'll be like, Jared would not.
I
be
did
thinking
go
about
look
that
at
in the
Crocs.
shower.
I considered
Did
buying
you?
Crocs, and I was
Oh.
like, no, I'm just not doing it.
Here it
Did
is.
you put them
I
on?
have
Did
a-
you put them
supported.
on?
Oh, the Segway. Excellent
Alex,
Segway.
Ooh,
what
it's
you got?
perfect segue. I've got I have a JJ shower thought stat of the day with a perfect
Yeah.
lead in from Joe talking about Crocs. Today, Crocs came out with their revenue reporting from 2022. $3.55 billion in
Jesus.
revenue for Crocs. That is a 53% increase from the year before.
For rubber house shoes?
They can give me 1% of
Yes,
that.
sir.
Really big fan.
Grief.
Dude,
Sponsor
I've got
us.
a pair. I've got a pair that have the little fur in them, and I wear them to the hunting camp, and that's it.
Yeah,
What you just said
so-
right now.
They actually,
Crocs
I was
with the
looking
fur.
for shoes and they had these camo Crocs with, the fur in them. And I was like, oh, he does need a new pair. It was really hard for me to even think about buying them, but they were on sale. But I didn't know this. The full price is $65 and they were 30% off. And I was like, I'm still not paying that.
Are they basically slippers at that point? And they're just
Yeah,
slippers.
$65.
yeah, basically they are. They're house shoes that have an outdoor
65.
capability.
Yeah.
Like
Here's-
if I'm wearing my nice house shoes, like if I have to go outside and it's raining or it's snowing, I'm like, oh shit. I go anyways, but I'm still like, if I got the Crocs on, don't care. Let's go. Doesn't really. They're all terrain, baby. I don't even have to put them in forward
House
drive.
shoes for your trailer park. Yeah, yeah.
The ultimate UTV Crocs. By the way, if you go to the website, which I've been on actually the last couple of days, I bought a few pairs. They've got the normal, the furry. They've got the ones that look kind of like
Furry.
Birkenstocks. They got all kind of stuff. I mean, Crocs is involved, and you can they do
Birkenstocks.
collaborations. Oh, it's cool.
Don't get the rubber Birkenstock ones. Those don't.
Birken
We
Crocs.
we
What
need
They're
are,
like
we,
the
are you
same.
going
Part
to
of
get
this-
what color are you eyeballing? That's what I want to know.
He already
I think-
pulled the trigger.
Same color as his minivan.
Probably white. You're an all
Actually,
white type of guy.
Actually, that's a
something to
pretty
match
good
the
play.
double wide.
So the
Yeah.
the whites for me kind of remind me of shower shoes from any TV show you ever watch. So I'm borderline between black and then just going some like crazy, maybe like Luke Combs collaboration. The only thing is it's got fishing stuff on there, and I can't fish for shit. So it would kind of not really represent me.
No one
Where
would
would
know,
where would
man.
you go
No one will
fishing?
know.
You live in the desert.
Yeah, I'd have to find a retention pond or something that's got people's backwater. They ain't shit for miles around here
You're gonna go fish in somebody's aquarium.
in the shit water.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't
I'm
worry
sorry,
about it.
officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Guaranteed catch.
Where else was I supposed to fish?
In a swimming pool.
You'd be like, that's a good question.
But I got Crocs on.
Yeah.
You're not outrunning that cop. That's then when they're not the greatest shoes in the world. That's for sure.
Yeah. You don't have time to drop down and swap them into all-wheel drive.
Turbo mode.
You just, especially if
Turbo
you're standing there in the hot ass sun, your fat feet will be sweating in them. They'll be slipping out. You're never going to get any traction.
I
You're going
was-
to be,
Don't
you're gonna
buy
be
any.
Fred Flintstone
don't
yabba
do it,
dabba doing
JJ.
it away from the police. Just
Yeah, you're a sweater, aren't you?
I was looking at the Crocs website and they have these Lightning McQueen Disney themed ones. And I was like,
Sounds
you could buy those. They're okay. But like, you can never take those off turbo mode because it's Lightning McQueen.
I am
Right.
speed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, so 3.55 billion, huh?
If you do buy a pair of Crocs, you have to promise to do an unboxing that we can post on the social.
please do.
Let's just
Yeah,
go
I
get
wanna
one pair of Crocs with a mustache on it and call it a day.
Let's do it. Mhm. White pair with a mustache button. There you go.
Yes.
I'll rock it
That's
out.
That's a win.
I'll
That's
support
a win.
that.
I'll cave.
All right, so that's what you're going to work on, JJ. You work on getting your Crocs in, and we'll work on putting out some sort of really extravagant unboxing video together because that's we got time for that, I guess. That's
I
what-
can't
about
wait for
you.
I can't wait for the sponsorship. Crocs about to send me 50 boxes.
dude. That'd be sweet. Make sure if you. Oh man, I hope that they do, and I hope you get all the Crocs that your little heart dreams of. Maybe
Oh,
if
And
you.
I
I'll wear them proud
So-
as shit.
Cash, baby.